Hello, hello. I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Running to Write. This is a live stream. It's not my normal Monday nights, and it is my book launch party. That's right. Expanding Cracks is out, and I am absolutely stunned and thrilled to have made it here. Whew, this is a big one. So I want to say thank you all for joining me. Thank you. Let's see here. We have Richard. Thank you for joining in. I think you were the first one here, followed by JC, author Lauren Adele, and Nicole the Blind Mage. Thank you. You both are wonderful. I appreciate you both for joining me in the last live stream. Obviously, it's much better that it's not at 3 a.m, but I hope you're well rested, and I'm glad that you're here. Thank you, Greg, for joining in. And thank you, Brennan. I'm glad you all are here. This is awesome. And I'm so excited and thrilled to share my book with you. And also, yes, of course, thank you to my wife, who is in the background. She hasn't commented in the comments, but she is just off camera. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Oh, yeah. Nice shirt. Yeah, thank you. It's a shirt that says I'm only writing so I don't have to run. Thank you, Jennifer Brown, and thank you, Margaret Bernard, for joining. Wow, there's a lot of people coming in now. Thank you, Bonnie being Bonnie. I appreciate all of you for coming here. It's noon on a Saturday, so I hope you're enjoying lunch, or if it's in a different time zone than you are, that you're preparing for lunch, or that you're just here to celebrate, which is wonderful. So I am going to kick things off, take things away, whatever. Aw, thank you, Max. I appreciate you too. And I'm on the wrong slide. So let's start off with the beautiful somewhat cover. This is the cover removed. So this is what the full cover looks like when the text is taken off. So it is beautiful, beautiful art. And I cannot thank Meeble Art enough. I did a whole episode with Martin Lejeune and Richard Holiday about creating covers, and this came out beautifully. It's mild spoilers. I think this is the third chapter that this event takes place, but you have a giant shadow monster, you have a crack to the void, and you have two stellar characters running into danger. Yes. I love it too, Jennifer Brown. This is an amazing, amazing cover. Sure, whatever you want to do with AuthorTube fanfic, go for it. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's awesome, Margaret. Thank you. And I don't really have too much of a set plan for this. There's a couple of giveaways that I'm going to do, but really I just want to celebrate all things Expanding Cracks, which is out today. And sorry, I didn't mention that before. That's what this book launch is for. It is to celebrate, promote, and gather us all here to share, at least in my love of Expanding Cracks, and hopefully in your enjoyment of it. The book is out there now, so you can pick up a copy if you want, or you can just marvel at this lovely, lovely artwork. I know I do. Yeah, and speaking of book merch, we also have t-shirt merch. I can do a little spiel for that later, but for right now, yes, thank you, Richard, for taking care of this. That is the UK version. So let me see if I can find. I have the US one all ready to go. Exactly, JC. You can find out what happens next to our characters. I'm going to do a little bit of a slightly recap. I know, Jeffron, you haven't finished book one yet, so I'm going to try and stick away from spoilers, but I do want to talk just a little bit about it, and we'll get to that in a minute. So for right now, I don't know if this will work. There is a video, but so there was a video that plays in the Google Drive version of this, but unfortunately, you can't play a video within a Google spreadsheet through StreamYard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to instead upload this. Where is it? There we go. Perfect. So give me just a few minutes because awesome. So here is the trailer for book 2. It was made by Books by Adrian, who did a fantastic job. He did the trailer for the first book, and so this is a wonderful chance to showcase his talents. And yeah, hi, Lauren Nettles. Thank you for joining in. And here we go. It's a nice little, I guess it's the first time I'm showing this, so it's a premiere of the trailer for my book. Yes, trailer played. Yeah, that was incredible. It was grim. It conveyed the exact emotions I want for this book, and it did a slight recap of some of the things that happened in book 1, which is awesome. Oh, even muted. Let me see. Okay, cool. I gotcha. Fair enough. Thank you. I am getting. My wife is explaining to me that you kept it muted to avoid spoilers, so I appreciate that. Yes, that makes perfect sense, Margaret. I'm sorry. I gotcha. Yeah, sorry. I definitely don't want to spoil anything. So, whew. um, yeah. Well, then we will just move right along. So the very first thing I have is a little game. This is kind of Wordle. It's fake Wordle because this is only 4 words. 4 letters. And so the way that we're going to play this is we're going by the honor code. So don't say what the word is, but say how many times, if you want to play this game, you can use that link. Say how many times it took you, how many tries it took you to get there. So if you can get within 6, go for it. And then I'm going to enter your name into a spinning wheel for prizes that we'll do very shortly. The word is not bear or pick. No, it is 4 letters. It is not my name. Oh, nice. Impressive, Richard. Okay, I'm going to add you to the spinning wheel of destiny if I can find it. Sorry, I have too many tabs. Oh, there we go. There's the wheel. All right, Richard, you are now officially added on. Oops. Sadly, it's not food, nor is it tuna, short for tuna mac and cheese. Margaret, I'm assuming that by those pointers that you also got it in too. So I'm going to put you here. This is really annoying because it keeps flagging me that I need at least 2 people in there. So, and because you are all here and posting, I'm going to add your names in. So let's see. Awesome. Laura Nettles, you got it in your second try too. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sorry, I'm trying to add everybody's names as I go and give you a chance to finish it. So just maybe one more minute and then we can keep going. On to the next game, topic, whatever. I'll find out when I hit the next slide. Because I did practice with this, but I didn't really flush out how long it would take to do everything. So I think I have everyone's name. Okay. So Jeffron, you get a second one. So yeah, sorry. So I'm adding everyone onto a wheel generator. Everyone who's here, everyone who's posting, you are automatically added, but everyone else who plays in the game also gets um an extra piece of the wheel, an extra slot on the wheel, so it makes you more likely that you'll get the prizes. Yes, Rufus is my dog, and he gets food for every try, which is very, very surprising. You might also get a yawn from him. He is currently asleep on the couch. He will probably start snoring very, very shortly. Yeah, maybe. Well, he's sitting next to my wife, who doesn't want to be on camera, so maybe towards the end, I will try and rearrange the room so that we can get a shot of him without my wife being in there. Because he looks very pathetic. He's bundled up underneath the giant blanket because we forced him to go outside today when it's raining. Yes. I'm sorry. Wait, does that mean that I get more chances for taking more tries? No, but it does mean you get more chances for getting the right answer. And honestly, JC, I get that you don't know how to Wordle, but you could have just told me you got it. I mean, we're going by the honor code here, so there's no authorization or anything like that. So right now, Eds is not cooking anything. She is done with cooking for the moment. She made bao buns for Thanksgiving, which were absolutely delicious. They were definitely a hit for the appetizers. And yeah, literally nothing. Yeah. Oh, it was pouring down rain here too. So more fun stories about that for this morning's run. And I have big news where it comes to that. And for those of you who didn't get it, it's been enough time. So the word was void. VOID, void. And that gets us into the mindset for this. I want to start off a little bit easier with a 4-letter word, although I don't know if it's easier or more difficult because there's, I don't know, more options, but it's less likely they'll get letters. Anyways, I have no idea the Wordle math, so I don't know if 4 letters or 5 is more difficult. And yes, thank you, Richard. The word was void. Moving on, I wanted to go through some secrets about this book. And they're basically 3 different secrets. For starters, there are two versions of this novel. There's the paperback and the ebook. The only difference is that the ebook uses drop caps, whereas the paperback does not. What that means is each of the chapters, it's going to be difficult to read, but each of the chapters starts off with an indent in the paperback, whereas with the ebook version, it is formatted flush up against the left side of the book, and the first letter is bigger. What that means is that because it's bigger, it takes up multiple lines. So when the first sentence of the opening to the chapter is all on one line, it means that the next paragraph down has an indent, but because of the cap, this is very, very complicated nuance, but essentially means that the formatting for the ebook is slightly different than the paperback. And that's really what it comes down to. So if you like drop caps, get the ebook. If you like the tactile feeling of holding the book itself, get the novel. I will say that there are a few changes that I'm going to be pushing out like today or in the near future, depending on a couple of things in the background. But there were a few things I want to change and tweak. One of which is a hanging S towards the end of the novel. There is I got the author copy of the book, and there was an extra page because there was an extra carriage return at the end of the chapter, so it created a blank page. In erasing that in erasing that, I hit Control S, which is something I always do whenever I make a change. I automatically just hit Control S without really thinking about it, except I must have missed the control. So there's just an S at the end of one of the chapters, which looks really annoying to me, but most people probably wouldn't notice it until I told you. Also, one other thing to note is that if you're using an e-reader, the drop caps can look kind of weird if you have like a widescreen that you're using, but it looks perfectly fine on a normal tablet or anything that you would probably be using, unless you're put it up on your computer and you are trying to make it widescreen for some weird reason. The drop caps, it auto formats in weird ways. So when I was playing around with this, as I tend to do with technology, I got it so it could look very weird. Just an extra indent when there shouldn't be one. Something nobody would really ever notice except for the author. So that's just a fun little fact there. Number 2, this book rewards the observant. Because of that, I believe this could be a divisive book. There's multiple plot threads which may not play out like people expect. And there are several others which would flourish upon a reread when you recognize certain seeds that were planted that don't really pay off until the very end, or certain things which might be obscured unless you know what's going to happen. So as an author, I would encourage you to reread the book. But again, yes, rewards the observant. Yeah, Richard. So I do have the pleasure. Richard has an advanced reader copy, and he sent me some very specific things that he wanted to see happen in the book. And I took screenshots of exactly what he said. So I really hope that the issue, or that the questions he raised, get answered by the end, or I'm really curious to see how his take on certain questions that he asked me play out once he gets to the end of the book. Anyways, that's completely neither here nor there. The third secret is that there is a throwaway line that's based on 2 different stories in my life. The first one involves my aunt, and that would definitely lead to spoilers within the story to see what the thing was based on. But the other one involved so I'm not going to explain the story with my aunt. The other one involved my sister-in-law and how much of a badass she is. So it was Thanksgiving a few years back, and we were all sitting around, and she had these giant braces for her hands because she was at a previous Thanksgiving meal. And I guess there was something weird with taking the turkey out of the oven, or maybe the gravy slipped or whatever. The point is that she saved the turkey by like basically sacrificing her hands. So she caught the turkey as it was rolling out of the oven, and so she got these massive burns up and down her arm. Yeah, you don't remember that? No. Well, she had these braces because she caught the turkey, or like maybe she was pulling the turkey out of the oven and some grease like got on her arm. But either way, I just remember sitting there at Thanksgiving dinner and she had these giant braces on her arm. So, Jackie, this is way back at the old house. Sorry, my wife's here. She doesn't remember this at all. Don't know what I can say that. Oh, okay, cool. And yeah, so the blind mage, Nicole, is mentioning that when I'm have things that say Mr. or Mrs., it says MR then the last name. So it's amusing to hear. That's good to know. I haven't listened to my books, so that is valuable information. And thank you. I don't know how I could change that unless maybe I do. I don't know, something in the unless I make my own custom audio files. And yes, Jennifer, I agree. Richard is already nuts. Thanks, Greg. Yes, apparently I went back in time and changed things so that this was no longer in Adriana's timeline. And Greg, I'm adding you to the list of potential winners. So yeah, thank you for joining in. This is awesome that you're here. Got two Gregs in the chat. And let's move right along. So on to some questions about the book. And this, just throw whatever answers out there into the chat. I'm going to wait a little bit until hopefully all of you can answer it. And if those who get it right, I'm going to add you to the wheel. Those who don't, I'm just going to say, keep trying, I guess. Thank you, Margaret. Hey, mister, she's my sister. Yes. Margaret is incredibly knowledgeable on all things musical, so I can't help but laugh there. Anyways, question 1. Though many people think Derek is a self-insert for me, which character do I actually see myself as? So post whatever answers you think. Yes. So while you are taking the time to answer, let me tell a little side story where I was on Books by Adrian because they did Falling Through, the first book in the Into the Void series, as the book of the month for the Tuber Book Club. Thank you. So let's see. So we have Jeffron, no, keep guessing. I do not see myself as the monster, despite you all calling me Bear. Anyways, so Falling Through was the story that we were doing, and Richard and Shannon, SD Houston, kept saying Ben anytime they meant to say Derek. It was kind of funny, kind of a little off-putting, but yeah, I can see how people make that mistake. Derek and Ben. A lot of times when I was writing and I needed something to make Derek be unique, or I needed him to do a specific thing, or I wanted something creative to happen, I would just throw pieces of my life in there. But I don't know. Personality-wise, yes, I am definitely a Tracy. I can see that, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm sorry, JC Carpenter. You can guess again. Yeah. So every time that they said Ben, they meant to say Derek, and let's see here. Yeah, I can understand personality-wise. I'm definitely very much. I don't think I'm as wild as Tracy, but I am certainly, I guess, ride or die for Tracy, because she would absolutely do anything for her friends. Yeah, I drive like Derek. My wife drives like Tracy. And she's not happy with her response.
You drive like Derek minus 10 miles an hour.
I usually go 10 miles over the speed limit as long as there's no traffic, but
Jeffron's on my side.
Anyways, yes, I'm scrolling through. So far, one of you has gotten the right answer, but most of you haven't. So I'll give you a few more answers to just start throwing names out there. Well, okay, Greg, now you're just trying to brute force the solution, guessing every single name. Thanks, JC. I like to think I drive safe, so 10 miles an hour is safe, but yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I drove home on the New Jersey Turnpike, so your comment doesn't apply. Yeah, fine, I'll throw it up there. That's my wife. She says she doesn't let me drive on the New Jersey Turnpike because I don't drive fast enough. Yeah, the speed limit is what, 75? You need to be going 90, otherwise you're slowing down everyone. It's 65. You need to be going 90, otherwise you're slowing everyone down. When you're going to 80, you're still being passed. Yeah, exactly. Anyways. Hey, okay. JC, there's a difference between driving too slow. 10 miles an hour over the speed limit isn't usually slow. Anyways, I do agree that if you're driving the speed limit, you're probably going a bit too slow, and that you are a danger to others. Also, a lot of times when I am driving, there's severe traffic, so 65 becomes 45, unfortunately, or if not, completely gridlocked. Well, So that's been, I guess that's long enough. Yeah. So despite Greg brute forcing everything, his first answer was right. The way I see it, I see myself as John. So Greg, you were the first person to answer correctly. You're the only person to say John. Um, so you get the point. Ooh, nice. James Haley, he is. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. You are on vacation right now, so it's awesome that you're here. And I'm going to put I'm going to put your name once in this list, and hopefully you won't win because you always do. But if you do, congrats. Yeah, James Haley is notorious for winning a prize in every single book launch he's been to. So, yeah, I see myself as John. To explain that, he's especially in book one. I'm not going to say what happens in book two, but in book one, he was willing to burn down the world around him because he wanted to do what he felt was right. So he's willing to sacrifice his friendships with Derek. He was willing to burn the bridges behind him. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, so this is my wife chiming in. She says that I have the personality of Derek, the moral rigidity of John, and the pragmatism of Rachel, and the whimsy of Tracy. That is wow. That's I have no rebuttal for that. That's wonderful. I do kind of see Derek as a little bit bland, so I'm disappointed in his personality, but maybe I see things a little bit differently than other people. Yeah, if Jam Chaley wins, I can just donate it to Lauren. We'll see. He might very well do that. So that's up to him. Now, moving on, things are going to be a little bit easier because this is multiple choice, and this is based on something that happened in book one. So if you don't want spoilers, I guess mute it for the next 5 minutes. If not, I'm sorry, Margaret. I guess. Hopefully, everyone here has read the first book, or if not, you've gotten at least halfway through. Okay, well, Jam Jelly is still here, which is he's probably just at line. He's probably in line for yes. Except that the beast fur is white, so I have just this thick dark brown pelt on my on. Anyways, so for those of you who don't want spoilers, just mute it, I guess, for the next minute or two while we go over question two. But where or when was the shadow monster first encountered in book one? A, the past, B, the future. Sorry, A, the past, B, the present, C, the future, or D, none of the above. Greg, you can't answer two different things. Aw, thank you. Oh yeah, I guess you are. Yeah, Florida. So you're East Coast time. So awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Richard. Yes, this is a very in depth and difficult test. And remember, this is what happened in book one, not book two. So there's a lot of guesses for B, the present. Yeah. Yeah, if you have your book one and it's say on an e-reader, you can do a string search for shadow and see what happens. Also remember, this is the shadow monster, not the beast. They are two slightly different things. Thanks, Richard. And yes, hello, Morgan Lee. So I'll give you all just a few more, maybe another minute or so, just to have fun with everyone and make you all sweat a little bit. I will say that the right answer is out there. But yeah, this book one. They faced the beast. Well, whatever. Like I said, I don't want to give away spoilers for book one, so. Well, so Richard, that is going to be one of the last slides out there in this little slide deck. So I'm not going to give away spoilers for my own personal life, but it will be coming. Also, in terms of sweating, I didn't really, well, I guess I probably sweat a lot, but I didn't really sweat too much because it was pouring down rain for the first half. So I was just thoroughly soaked. So any sweat I did have washed away in the storm is probably the best way of putting it. So it's like a mini shower, except I didn't really get clean. Yes, if you this is the first time Adriana's seen the slides, so she is not aware of what the answers are. Although she's testing her skills of book one recollection. Although it's been a while since you read the first book, so. All right. Well, then I will just give you the answer. So, Morgan Lee, you were the first person to answer it right. You've been added to the wheel. It was none of the above. And so, JC Carpenter, you also got the right answer after you changed it because you recognized that the Shadow Monster and the Beast weren't the same thing. Yes, it was in the void, which is technically not the past, present, or future. Yes, I am a troll. It was a trick question. Greg, yes, it was on the way to the past, but they actually met it within the void. They were fully, the way out of the void had been closed off, so there definitely wasn't any past or present to interact with. So, Greg, I missed that. Sorry. No, okay, Greg, you said A and D at the same time. That was not the right answer. You can't just guess both. You are awarded no points. Yeah. So according to Adriana, yeah, whenever D is none of the above or all of the above, the answer is always D. In easier examples, yes. That was after. So that was the second time they encountered the Shadow Monster. It reached through the hole in the past. Yes, but remember, they were already on the way to the past. They had sealed off the entrance, and then Tracy's trying to break them out of there because she was terrified of it. All right. So, anyways, if you're on mute, I'm just going to let you know the spoilers are ending. But if you're on mute, you wouldn't know. So, I guess we're moving on to question 3. Unrelated to the book launch itself, but what's the first thing I'm doing after this book launch party? A, run. B, get a haircut. C, take a nap. D, have a beer. E, play video games. Or F, rewrite Expanding Cracks from the ground up. Oh, yes. Thank you, Adriana. That's probably a smart way of putting it. I appreciate you. You're awesome for helping me. All right. So Richard says, get a haircut. C, nap. Awesome. This is kind of insightful for what you all think I do during my day. Thanks. There's a lot of E's.
I like that no one has said D. I was like, why'd you even put that as an option?
There's a lot of people who have beers after a major accomplishment. I don't want to skew any of these answers, but I will tell the most likely order of what I'm going to be doing. Thanks, Jeff. See, somebody thinks I should have a beer.
I think you should. I just don't think you will.
All right. So I think that is. Oh, I think that's enough for giving you all a chance to answer. And I will say that Richard Holiday, the only person who got it right, surprisingly. yeah, I'm very scruffy at the moment, so I am going to definitely get a haircut. I already ran this morning, so that was a trick answer. Take a nap. I mean, I might, but probably not. I'm probably just going to go to bed at normal time. Have a beer, not till later. Play video games. I will definitely be doing that and rewrite Expanding Cracks from the ground up. I do have a lot of changes that I want to make, but I can't really push them out now without impacting how the book is available in anywhere that it's available. So take your pick of retailers. So I can't make changes to it for the next few days. I'm just going to let it sit there. And then probably by next weekend, I'll push out a slightly new version. So yes, it is so good. But again, like I mentioned, there are tiny things I want to change, like that hanging S at the end of that chapter. There's an on, which should be a one. There's a lot of. Thanks, Richard. Now my wife wants to eat tuna mac and cheese. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Lauren. Yeah, I guess there's no real way to know how scruffy I get. It is kind of curling in ways I don't like it, and it is almost down to my eyebrows. So it's out now, yes, but I mean, every time I read through it, every time I read through any of these books, I'm going to want to change things. So there are places where I want, well, aside from those two typos that I mentioned, there are places where I want to improve the diction or clarify exactly what I mean, because there are definitely no, I shouldn't have. There's no alternate ending. It's just clarifying certain points that I want to. Great, thank you, Richard. You and my wife had the exact same sense of humor. Yeah, I mean, there are some things I want to touch up, and like every author I know, sorry, a lot of authors I know, once they hit publish, there's like 1,000 different things that they want to change. They see ways to improve it. I will most likely push out another version maybe around Christmas time, where everybody should be spending time with their families anyways. So that's something I can easily work on for the next month at a steady pace, make the handful of changes I want to, and then get a new version out by the end of the year. Just little tweaks, little improvements here and there that I can do to make the story flow better. So that's my personal opinion. Everyone who's read it says that it's perfectly fine as is, but I'm me. All right. So let me see if yep. So the first thing we are doing is a prize. Now I have a list of prizes available. So we'll do this in, I guess, order. So I'm going to give away 3 different prizes. There is no new car. Well, for what's worth, if you're talking about the prequels, they really could have used a lot of things that needed to change. Anyways, so what we'll do is we'll give away 3 different prizes, and I'm going to talk with the person offline to figure out what prizes they want. And for some of these, there's only one instance of them. So the first person to win obviously gets first pick, and they could take one of these things off the board. So I have 2 Amazon gift cards. I am willing to do a beta read starting in February, anytime between February through the summer, or probably through the end of the year, whatever is convenient for you. So I know there's a lot of authors in here. If you have somebody who wants a beta read, we can do that. There's also autographed copies, but again, I'm going to send that out towards the end of the year, so that way I can get out the, quote unquote, get out a different version of Expanded Cracks that I want to send and put my name on and sign and do all these lovely things. Also, there are most likely going to be delays right now if I order a book. I pre-ordered a book a few weeks ago, so I know it got sent out today, but apparently my book is up to $20 in Amazon, which is really weird. So it's only supposed to be $9.99, but I guess everybody was purchasing it and there's limited copies, so they drove up the price, which is kind of fun. So again, I strongly advise you not to buy the book unless it's at $9.99 or cheaper, because sometimes various retailers do various discounts. Anyways, irrelevant. There are also, because I got tons of these, we have bookmarks. These are for following through the first book in the series. I'm going to be working on getting out Expanding Cracks gain out bookmarks and magnets for expanding cracks, but I don't have those as of yet. So we have bookmarks, we have magnets. Again, for book one, these came out really cool. One thing to note about the magnets, I cannot send them internationally. I tried to do that before, and I needed to sign like a customs declaration because it can only be something that's bendable, and they flagged the magnets as not bendable. So unfortunately, Richard, I think you're the only person who's not in the States who is currently in the chat, but you cannot get one of these. Although I think I might somehow sent these to you. I can't remember. Anyways, so those are the various things we can win. All of that long explanation to say, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. Now, oh boy, this is going to be tough. So I want to make sure that nothing is. Yeah. So yeah, you got stickers and bookmarks. Sorry, no magnet. I cannot send that externally. Here we go. So I will very shortly share this. Oh, and I can also do stickers. Thank you. Yes, I have, again, following through and writing to write stickers. So let's see who wins this first. Oops. There we go. So we have everybody's names. Like I said, everybody who commented has their name added here. Everybody who participated in the Wordle and everybody who got a right answer during the questions gets their name entered in. And so you can have multiple entries for a single person. So without any further ado, we are going to spin this. Oh, also, you can only win once. Hold on, I might need to refresh this. So give me 1 second here. Okay, there we go. Cool. So this is everybody. And let's see who wins. Jennifer Brown. Perfect. Jennifer Brown, I will talk to you offline and figure out exactly which prize you want. And then if you, you get first pick. So congratulations. And let's get back into the slides. Oh, I can only imagine. Oh, uh-oh. Sorry, Martin, you weren't added yet. Oh, wow, I just missed everything. Yeah, cool. I'm glad that I'm trying to make this accessible to blind folks by reading the images and the slides. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to everything that is the chats. I believe we now formed. So, oh boy, there were a lot of comments about how I wanted to change details in expanding cracks, and now it's called pulling a cats. Sorry, you are not winning a car. Old car or not, you're not winning a car. Thank you, Lauren. Like I said, yes, I'm trying to make this as accessible as possible. Bottle openers, no. Ooh, nice French word. Okay, let's see. Yes, I am also guilty of this. I keep a lot of stickers without finding a good place to put them because I don't like putting them on my like my laptop because there's all these. I see a bunch of people walking around with like all these hacker stickers or whatever at my job, and it's not for me. Oh, he keeps them as mementos. So let me add Martin on there for the next one. Sorry, Martin, I didn't see you there before I spun it, but you are there now. Cool. Oh boy. Yep. Jeffron, no, I'm not redoing this. There's no recount. Yeah. So let's move on. And we have a second Wordle. This one, I believe, is 6 letters long. So it's slightly more or less difficult than normal Wordle. I don't know. Sorry, I probably should have done this. So I probably should post this while getting into the chat, but let's see here. Ooh. Martin, he is one of 2 authors of the McMurdo Rift. You got a sticker on the post, so no idea what to do with it. Just put it on everything. Put it on your mailbox. That way your mail person knows that an author lives at the house. Wow. So Greg, you got it on your first guess. That's impressive. Unfortunately, Nicole, it is not cracks. So Greg, I'm going to add your name again. Let me see. I'm going to take Jennifer's name off. Cool. That way there won't be any. No, although running would have been a good one. Unfortunately, that is 7 letters. Oh, you don't have mailboxes. That's weird. I don't know. So what do people just do? You have to go to the post office to pick up your mail, or how does that work? Fallen would have been a good one. Wait, no, Fallen 7 letters. It's only 6 letters.
Fallen is 6 letters.
Fallen is 6 letters. I've I've been told this just in. Fallen has 6 letters. Richard, yeah. Yeah, letterbox is on your front door. That's the same thing as mailbox. It's essentially, yeah. No, Jeffron, out of spite, you are taken off the list permanently. Oh, cool. A hole in the door. Oh, so everything's that's nice and easy. Yeah. So let me see here. So we have trying to add everybody's names as they come through. Richard, you said you got it. But yeah, it is really funny in terms of being an author or whatever, because there are frequently times where I just forget the word for certain things, and my wife calls me out every single time. What was it? It was like eyedroppers or something that I tried to order.
You asked me for an eyedropper.
Right. I asked her for an eyedropper, but what I actually wanted was a pipettes. So she's like, I only have this one eyedropper and it's glass, so you probably don't want to use it. And so I ordered pipettes, even though we already had pipettes in the house. It's a whole thing. She makes fun of me every time I can't figure out the right word. There's also a time where we were in, whatever. I don't need to go through that story. But essentially, every time I make a mistake when it comes to words, my wife makes fun of me. Because, I was trying to tell someone that there was a problem, but she didn't speak English. And I kept saying, they can't hear you. They can't hear any of that story. Anyways, I kept saying malfunction when all I needed to say was esta una problema. Yeah, so malfunction was definitely the wrong word to use in that time. But it all worked out. Aw. So yeah, Martin only sees his mom once a year because travel costs cost the better part of 1,000 pounds. 100 pounds, sorry. Nice.
He also said 40 minutes is a long way.
Wow. You all are spoiled. It takes us 40 minutes to get anywhere.
Tell them how long it takes to drive to my parents' house.
Yeah, it takes us to drive from here to Adriana's parents' house takes 4 hours. You can do it in 3.5.
No, you can't.
You can do it in 3:45. You've done it in 3.
House. You get there in 3 hours.
Anyways, either way, usually it takes upwards of 5 to 6 because traffic is miserable. We have to deal with 3 different cities worth of traffic. No, because there's the 3 hubs. You have Baltimore and Philadelphia and whatever. So yeah, you have 3 different hubs of traffic to deal with. Wow. Margaret officially wins with 11.5 hours to get to her parents' house. I'm sorry. I hope it's worth it.
Did you see Richard's
Thanks, Richard. No, objectively, it takes a lot of time to get anywhere. Yes, Jeffron said it best. No, we don't even live in, well, it's not really suburban hell. It's just bad traffic, bad drivers everywhere, which funnily enough leads to me doing lots of self-inserts in the story. Yeah, there are a lot of, yeah, JC, I saw. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so that people don't spoil what the word is. So I put you on the list, but wow. Okay, so 11 hours that can be done in 9.5. That's impressive. Thanks, Martin. Yeah, I will happily talk about DC traffic. Oh, Dan Murray, you're in here too. Nice. So you get a chance to win prizes. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a very long time, but I can only assume that you and the family are great. And I'm very quickly losing control of this conversation here. Yes, DC traffic is terrible. I will not make fun of. Yes, yeah. It basically takes an hour to get most places. I went in the city earlier this week, and it would have been a 45. It would have been a 45 minute drive with traffic. So I just metroed in, but because the metro is all messed up, it took me over an hour. Basically, I couldn't take the fastest metro because it was closed, so I had to change lines. Whew. Traffic and subway and transportation aside, let's move on. Get this back under control. So, please, without any spoilers, I'm just curious about what your favorite falling through moments were. It can just be like the interactions between Derek and Tracy, or just something stupid in there like tuna mac and cheese. But try to avoid spoilers. So just, I don't know, maybe mention it smoothly. That's the best thing. Yeah, I know Jeffron's up there. I guess he texted me offline. Excellent. Yeah, so we have the tuna mac and cheese, of course, Richard, and Snap. I like it. Yeah, Jennifer, thank you. You won. So I will again talk to you offline. Yeah, please don't post your address here. We can figure that out. I also have plenty of bookmarks too if you want. So if you're going, this is a note on the prizes. If you are doing something small or something that I have multiple copies of, like the bookmarks, the stickers, the magnets, I can send them all over to you. So that's not a problem. I'm going to try and keep up with everything. So let's see. We have Richard. All right, for everybody who posts something, I'm adding you into the list. So yeah, Richard liked the food options as well as the snap, which isn't the Marvel snap. It's not nearly that big. Nicole enjoyed the descriptions of the beast. I do appreciate that. I put a lot of effort into making that monster feel real. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually funny whenever you say that because Olivia isn't actually based on my stepsister, but I can see exactly where you're coming from. Oh, and Richard is trying to rig the wheel in his favor. Yeah, let's see. Richard, I know for a fact that's a lie. You hated every single training scene and you called me out on it each time. Let's see. And then we have G-Rob like the beast fight. Oh, and the attack and toll scenes. Ooh, yeah, I will absolutely help you out with this. I can, I will say, shout out to Margaret Pinard, who does everything StreamYard. She teaches, you have videos teaching how to use StreamYard. I do not have the paid version of StreamYard, but I can still take advantage of a lot of those features. And yeah, I'm more than happy to help you out with this, Margaret. If you watch some of her videos, she does a wonderful job of walking you through exactly how to use tools like this. But yeah, I can help you out as much as I can. And let's see here. Oh, yep. Thank you. Yes, please like and subscribe. I do appreciate that, Margaret. I'm recognize most of these names, so I'm pretty sure everyone is subscribed. But yes, please do. If you haven't, please do subscribe. If you haven't, also please like the stream. All right, let's see here. We have JC Carpenter. Ooh. Who like the climactic moments at the end. I do appreciate that. That is one of my favorite scenes as well. I don't want to go into everything that happens, but I put a lot of thought and effort into exactly how the bodies of the characters would move under the various stresses that they face in the end of the book. What movie have we seen recently? Oh, we watched Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I made you watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I mean, it was kind of both.
You've
It was
never seen it.
I never seen it. It was Halloween, so I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You didn't make me sit through that. I love that movie.
I know, but I'm trying to think. I don't think we've really sat through a bad movie recently.
No, we went and saw Black Panther.
We did see Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, but this is more of like staying at home watching a movie. Black Panther was great, by the way.
We haven't sat and watched a movie in a while.
Yeah, that's true. We have been watching a lot of really bad shows.
House of the Dragon isn't that bad. It's just
it's a lot. Yeah. I was not the biggest fan of Rings of Power.
That show is terrible.
Yeah. You probably can't hear Adriana, but she just said that show was terrible. Yes. She did watch the panel chat where we talked about making book covers and bookmarks. And yes, marry someone who knows Photoshop is always a great tip. I guess. That's one way of doing it. Odd criteria. So certainly. I'll eventually get around to watching Wednesday, but I sat down in the middle of an episode in the middle of the season and you're like, oh, you should watch this show. I'm like, yeah, it looks cool, but like I have no context for what's going on. So I didn't really understand it. Let's see here. Ooh, last Sunday on StreamYard is tomorrow. So series finale. Yes. It doesn't have to do with Photoshop, but it does have to do with StreamYard and hosting live streams. So if you're around tomorrow, please check out Margaret Pinard's video tutorials. Ooh, that's impressive. Coughing, right? Yeah, the problem is I'm out of water. So unless I want to pause this, run upstairs, and be right back, I'm just going to have to suffer through this. Yep. I also really did enjoy that one. It's kind of funny if you think about the character bases for these, but yeah. Let's see. We have, yes, Richard, let's do the time warp again. That is a very catchy song from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Aw. It's okay. I will say this, from the 10 minutes I watched the show, it was very cute. It was very entertaining and it showed some really cool characters. I think it's quirky. It's fun. I probably will get around to watching it at some point. I have a lot to get through. I'm behind on all the shows I want to watch. So that's things keep getting pushed back. And my wife is choking. I can only assume that I'm catching up very, very slowly. So everybody's loving Wednesday. Let's see. Oh, good God, no. No, I'm not going to do that. Let's see. Tim Curry's cosplay is him in drag wearing basically a Speedo. No one ever needs to see that.
You'd have to shave your legs.
I mean, according to my wife, I would have to shave my legs. I wouldn't have to. I don't have to do anything. Margaret, I think you vastly overestimate how one, awake our dog is, and two, how functional he is even when he's awake. He's neither of those things right now. Oh, nope. Sorry. He heard his name. He's now glaring at me. He's getting comfortable and going back to sleep. Thanks, Lauren. Okay, let's move on. Something fun to get us back into expanding cracks. These questions, or I want to play a fun game using 3 different characters. So we have 2 truths and a lie as answered by the characters. So this is 2 truths and a lie by Rachel. And I would like you all to try and guess which one is the lie. So throw out a number there, 1, 2, or 3, to figure out which one of these is the lie, whereas there are two other truths. Now, these are mostly dealing with the character as a whole, but they can be maybe things that happened after events in book 1, or something that the character explicitly says or will do in book 2. So anyways, Rachel. So I'm speaking as Rachel right now. Number 1, I sleep with the lights on. Number 2, I want to be a hero. Number 3, this Fortissimo game is stupid. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing with this game. So again, shout out in the chat whether you want 1, 2, or 3. Sorry, I keep showing and hiding. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, I agree. I agree with Jam Chaley, who thought that the scenes in the past were interesting. All right, so let's see. There's a lot of 1s and 3s. A lot of you guys think this game is stupid too, apparently, or you think that Rachel would think that this game is stupid too. Give you maybe just another couple more seconds. All right. So the correct answer was 2. And I think it's a little unfair. So congratulations, Morgan and Greg. You both got it right. So I'm adding your names to the spinning wheel. I think it's a little bit unfair because Morgan was my editor and she did a wonderful, wonderful job in editing Expanding Cracks. I cannot stress enough how great of a job she did. She helped me point out a lot of points where the characters who are high school age were maybe speaking with the mannerisms that I might as a 30-year-old. So she
30-year-old?
35, whatever. I'm in my 30s. So Morgan definitely helped flesh out some of those, as well as smooth over a lot of the language and in general improve my book. So again, if you are out there looking for an editor, try Morgan Lee. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that one. Yeah, I'm 35. So, all right. Yep, I am old. Anyways, moving on. Tracy. So we're starting over again. Put whatever number in there you think is the lie. Number 1, my band is played in front of 2,000 people. Number 2, I've earned a platinum trophy on over 300 games across more than one system. And number 3, I have a treble clef tattoo on my arm. I definitely agree. 35 is not old. I do sometimes feel it, especially on bad runs, but I mean, right now I feel pretty good. No, Richard, you do not get a point for that. In fact, I award you no points. Oh, and everybody keeps making fun of me for driving safe. Anyways,
Your mom makes fun of you for it.
according to my wife, my mom makes fun of me too. So let's see here. I don't want to give away the answer, so we'll just keep tapping away as I try and add people to the wheel. I do apologize if I misspell your name. I'm trying to write this as quickly as I can. But again, the intent will be there. So if I can read what I wrote, then it's good enough. Thanks, Richard. Oh, awesome. This Ray in Life, thank you for joining in. I'm going to throw your name onto the spinning wheel of prizes as you just joined in. And kind of cramped on there because people keep posting in, and that is wonderful. Anyways, all right, JC, you changed it to the correct answer. This is kind of a cheat, I guess, is more of background information that you wouldn't necessarily know as it wasn't in the story. None of these actually are. But the way I see it, I wrote this is all background details on the character sheet. So the way I see it, Tracy is played in a band. She would have opened for a much more famous band. Like what a lot of when a lot of bands come into town, they get like somebody local to open for them. And I figured Tracy's band would have been one of the bands to open for somebody big. I don't know who. I didn't really think that far in advance. She's also a gamer, so she has earned over platinum trophy in over 300 games. That takes time. It's not the most difficult thing to do, but she is devoted enough to a cause to do it. The one thing she doesn't have is a tattoo. So number 3 was the lie. And
She's a child.
yes, because she's a child. She's also 17, so she would need her parents' permission to get a tattoo. Although to be fair, I did know people in high school with tattoos. So
They have really permissive parents.
well, that's one way to think about it. Sorry, I'm having a debate with my conversation with my wife about people in high school getting tattoos. Usually, it takes permissive parents to sign away those waivers. And yes, Richard, you do get a point for that. Also, hi Shannon, thank you for joining in. I'm glad that you're here. Always great to get one of the trio, or now we have the full trio actually, of the self-publishing tips and tricks. That is myself, Morgan Lee, and Shannon. Question: does Ben have any tattoos? No, I do not. Also, yeah, feel free to throw out any questions you have for me in the chat. I will try and answer them as best I can, unless they are spoilers. Wow. That's surprising. Usually you have to be over 18 unless you get parent permission. So, yeah. If your parents sign waivers or whatever, I mean, it's the same thing. Is it the same thing with like ear piercings? You need to be, yeah. So again, there are a lot of people with earrings in high school, but for the most part, you need to get parents' permission to do it. I don't know. I don't have an interest in getting a tattoo, so yes. And we do have an awesome one coming out on the 15th, which is well in 2 weeks. But we also just got Shanti Hershenson. That came out on the 1st, who is a 15-year-old who has already published more books than I ever will in my life. And her story was incredible. So question, are there any characters like your wife? There are characters who have taken on traits of people more recently than my wife. So yes, I will say that generically, I've definitely added in elements or events or traits from my wife into the stories. But for the most part, a lot of these characters are based on people I knew in high school. So that's where the original inspiration of these characters came from. So no, there aren't any characters truly based on my wife, but there are definitely characters influenced by my wife. And a lot of my friends in recent history too. Oh, yes, thank you. I also agree. 35 is not old. Oh, I'm sorry your hips have been hurting. Ooh, and you missed your first marathon. Well, good luck on the next one. Hopefully you'll be able to make it. I know it's been really tough. A lot of people have been getting sick recently. It's the weather's been kind of flip-flopping around and oof. Yes, I have done this. I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm sorry. We have a shared bank account, so charging royalties doesn't really work. Ooh, this is a good question. How many new characters will be added into book 2? I would say there's one major new character, but I have fleshed out a lot of the existing characters. So in book 1, I kind of did like a I kept most of the characters isolated through a various set of circumstances. And so you really got to know only a handful of them. And in book 2, I dive much deeper into the various other people who might have been in the peripheral of book 1. Ooh. Yeah. Good luck with the tattoo. I know nothing about it. This is a tough question. So how long did I spend writing book 1 versus book 2? I don't have a good answer for that because a lot of the events from book 2 I directly cut out of book 1 because book 1 was far too long. So I kind of cut them out, readjusted. I will say that I started writing book 1 in 2009, and I didn't really officially start writing book 2 until, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. So it was considerably less time, but a lot of the time I spent in book 1 also flowed directly into book 2. Although I will have a much better measure for book 3 because I think there's only like 2 chapters which carried over from book 1. So if you can't tell, the original version of book 1 was extensive. If I can still use scenes cut and paste out of it in 2 books later. For what's worth, that was the scene that I cut out that is in book 3 is it was a training chapter that Richard absolutely loves because he is a huge fan of taking time out of the story to train. But in that case, in book 3, it also gives more meaning, and it's kind of a follow-up to a hanging plot thread in book 2. So lots of confusing answers in there, and take from that what you will. Let's see. Will you get into how the parents and family deal with Derek, Tracy, and Rachel's new powers in book 2? Yes. This is a lot more focused on home and how people interact with them. For start, well, that's a spoiler, so I'm not going to say that for book 1. But the way that book 1 ended directly leads into book 2 and how everyone interacts with everyone. But if you read book 1, you would know that there's a lot of things that happened and a lot of things that I'm not going to say. So, yes. Short answer, yes. What? I definitely missed that, so I have no idea. Yes. Our dog hates the rain. He hates water. He is not a very good hunting dog. Um, he's also not a very good anything kind of dog. He's very lazy. He loves my wife exceptionally, tolerates me. Uh, Payback. Payback Richard. Yes, Shannon is now starting to troll Richard, and I love it. All right, back to True Truths and a Lie. So, Derek, again, put out the number for which one of these is a lie. So, Derek, number 1, I'm the oldest of my siblings. Number 2, I've traveled to all the continents except one. Number 3, my favorite food is tuna mac and cheese. Yeah, Richard, when people say this, I think of a temple which is in, like one of those ancient temples that's in just disarray. There's cobwebs everywhere, dust, trash all over the place.
Really? Cobwebs? Not the fact that it's in ruins and literally falling apart?
Whatever.
I have to get a charger for my computer.
Okay, go for it. Well, you know one of the truths, but you... Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. I was going to say, you got to figure out which one's the lie. So if you have... Sorry, I keep doing this badly. I should have posted the question. I should have posted this question, then asked for more questions. But we'll figure this out by the time the third book rolls around in terms of how to best run a live stream. And we are fast approaching the second prize giveaway, I believe. Okay, Shannon, I'm going to say this too. Yes, you need to pick one of them. Let's see here. I called Greg out earlier for supplying 2 answers and a multiple choice question. Yes, tuna mac and cheese is delicious. It's also very cheap and easy to make. But Richard, I will call you out on this one. You didn't have the full experience because you do need sriracha and you don't like spice, so I understand. But the sriracha sauce ties everything together. Yeah. wow. Thank you, Shannon. A lot of people have called me out for liking tuna mac and cheese. And there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, yes. And my wife is amazing because she can hear how parched I am, and she got a new water while she ran up for a charger. So thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Oh, shots fired by Martin. All right. Well, I think I've given you all enough time. It is number one. He is not the oldest of his siblings. He is youngest. He has an older sister. And I completely agree. Oh, I'll give that one to you, James Taylor. You got just as the buzzer. James Chili gets it. Is it before or after Derek has powers? I would say before. Again, these are all, well, at least the second one is kind of background information. But if you read the first book, you should know that his favorite food is steamed mac and cheese. You should know that he's the youngest. He has an older sister. So by process of elimination, you can assume been to all the continents except one. And again, this is all like character sheet information. So things that, or at least, sorry, that was a character sheet information, which is something that wasn't in the text of the first book. And the way I see,
if you know the lie, you know the lie.
Exactly. Well, if you know the two truths, you know you know which one's the lie. Anyways, the way I see it, he's been his parents would have taken him all over the world, maybe on trips here and there, but he's been to everything except Antarctica, which is kind of just a pain to get to unless you're doing like a cruise or something. So, oh, well, yeah, Olivia goes to college throughout most of book one. Yep, should have gone with your gut. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you still have a lot of other chances to win, so hopefully. Yes, you were. And if I time this out correctly, prizes. So, oh boy. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen again and hopefully not reveal too much. Yeah, for what it's worth, my wife is the reason why we eat, because it's great comfort food. Ooh. Yeah, so again, I'm glad to see that my book is inspiring people to pick up tuna mac and cheese. It is really good. Again, if you are into spices, the sriracha really ties everything together. So I cannot encourage that enough. And we're
having that for dinner tonight.
No, I wanted burgers.
Fine.
Yes. I just convinced my wife not to make tuna mac and cheese tonight because we're having burgers. All right, so we are spinning the wheel. And Richard Holiday is the winner. So Richard, you are a big winner number 2. Depending on what Jennifer picks as number 1, you will get a prize. Fair. It's not for everyone, but I find it to be delicious. Well, for what it's worth, I don't like tuna melts, so I do think it is different enough from that. Yeah. So woo, congrats. Yep. So yay, Richard wins. And no, it's not tuna mac and cheeseburger. No. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Ooh, mommy burgers tonight. Nice. I do not think Richard will ever behave, so that is winning or not. Oh, yes, my wife is awesome. Oh boy, it's getting late. I will start hurrying up with this then. So we have one more Wordle, and I'm going to try and fix things on the back end. So I'm going to post the Wordle in there, and this one I don't remember how many letters there are. Oops. Give me 1 second. I got to get the Wordle there. Yep. So yeah, Margaret, you are just in time for another Wordle game. And I don't remember what this word is.
5 letters.
It's 5 letters. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can figure this out really quickly because I don't remember what I put in. Yeah, I don't actually have it in my notes either. That's bad. Oh, okay. I think I do know what it is. Haha, I do remember the word. Okay. It's 5 letters. So yes. And I'm catching up. And now I'm going to remove Richard from the Wheel of Magic. Magic Wheel? I don't know. So we'll give other people a chance to win. And because he's not on there, he will... You all cannot accuse me of shenanigans or favoritism or anything like that. So again, try not to post the word in the chat, but just post how many times it took you to guess it in the fake Wordle. Beast? Beast would have been a good one. Although that is not the right answer. That is not what I'm saying, Richard, but... Wow. Gonna have spice in the chat. So anybody have any... Again, don't post the answer. Post the number of times it took you, number of tries. But has anybody done the Wordle or anything like that? If you have, just let me know. And while we are here, I can also read the back blurb to stall for time. After saving their hometown from a rampaging monster, Rachel, Tracy, and Derek are wary of the extra tension. Some praise them, others fear them, while many think the fight was an elaborate hoax. Buried under mountains of schoolwork, they're failing to find the balance in their lives. Cracks of the void continue to open, allowing more destructive monsters to breach their world. Can they stop these otherworldly attacks and fix the devastation they caused, or will they be revealed to be fake heroes as their world crumbles? Whew. That is Expanding Cracks, out now. Ooh. Yeah, you are better off than I am, Margaret. Basically, if it's been more than a week, I've completely forgot about it. Yeah, I guess the word... Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nicole. I guess the Wordle isn't accessible. It's just a tool I found online, so I have no idea. It's fake Wordle. Yeah, it's basically just within the browser, so I don't have a good alternative. I'm sorry about that. It looks like Morgan got it. Greg got it. JC Carpenter got it. So let me add their names. Okay. What course, starter, main, or dessert is the culinary thing in book 2? Ooh. I don't want to give away spoilers, but I will say that based on the timeline of events, so book 1 takes place roughly September, October timeframe, and then book 2 takes place roughly end of November, December timeframe, which means that the holiday, which just passed, Thanksgiving, may or may not have a big, momentous event within the story. So there may or may not be something Thanksgiving related in the book. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. And Richard is explaining how Wordle works. Thank you. It's similar to a game like Mastermind, if you've ever played that. I don't know. That's basically the same thing, but with colors. Yes, this is not Hangman. Aw. Thank you, Mike. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to add you in there. Thank you for joining in, Mike. It's awesome that you are here. There's no hint to go with Wordle. I don't have a good hint for that. Sorry. This is just something fun that I found. I know Wordle's probably on the decline in terms of popularity, but I still want to include it here. And yes, take care. Enjoy all things vacation related. Let's see here. Question. Were you inspired by any sequels going into book 2? Ooh. For this one, I don't think so. There are definitely... Well, I can't really say what did or didn't inspire me for book 2 without giving things away. Though... Thank you, Adriana, for playing Wordle with Nicole for this last one. So yes, gray, green. Ooh, yeah, that is true. Good job. Yeah, so beast will be gray, green, which means that the S and T are the correct letter and the correct location. However, the first 3 letters are not correct. So thank you for helping out those in the chat. Dessert pumpkin pie. Interesting guesses. This could be a new fun game. What meal did I include for Thanksgiving? In the book. So yes, thank you, Jennifer, for opting out, but good job for getting the word. Yep, that is the goal, Shannon. That is the goal. All right, then we are going to finish this up. The word was trust. T-R-U-S-T, trust. And that brings us to, goals. Sorry, we're not doing prizes yet. So this was from Wednesday. My goal for the year was to run 1,200 miles, 1,200 miles in 2022. As of Wednesday, I was 10 miles shy of that. And as of Thanksgiving, I realized that I was only 40 miles shy of that. So I decided to really push myself instead of taking time off and recovering. So did I make it? Yes or no? I ran on Wednesday. I gave myself time off, which means that this morning was the cutoff for whether or not I could make my year-end goal by today. So did I make it? Yes or no? I did. I ran 10 miles today. It was tough. It was pouring down rain. I was shirtless because it was like warm rain. So it didn't really, and the way it was pouring down, it made more sense for me to just not be wearing a shirt, which is always fun. I look like a crazy person. There's people out there in like thick jackets, and I'm just running right by them, looking like a crazy person. Thank you, sweetie. Just to be the man who runs 12,000 miles for no reason whatsoever. Yes, I do run shirtless in the rain. So I am slow in a car, but on my feet, I am not that bad. And part of the reason why I'm a slow and careful driver is because I'm aware of my surroundings. And today I was almost hit by a couple of different people who were running red lights and or stop signs. But when I'm in the car, it means that I'm trying to be much more aware of things that go around me. That is 1,200, not 12,000. 12,000 will be insane. I said 1,200.
You said 12,000 when I posted my comment.
Fair enough. Sorry. I keep saying 12,000, but I did not do that. It was 1,200, 1,200 miles. That's basically 100 miles each month. Or on average, 25 miles a week. And let's finish this up with prizes one more time. No, Richard, I do not plan to run 10 times more than I currently am. That would be miserable. And we are going back to share my screen. So, everybody who asked a question, everybody who posted, everybody who... I'll get there eventually. Everybody who answered a question correctly, who participated, you all got your names added to the wheel, and I'm going to spin it for the third and final time. The first winner was Jennifer, second winner was Richard, and the third winner is dum-da-da-dum, G-Rob. All right, so Greg, you are a lucky winner number 3. I'll get to you offline and figure it out. Sorry, Morgan, it was very, very close, but it just crossed over. Cool. And with that, I believe I have almost everything. So that's all I have today. If you want, I'm going to hang around for a few more minutes and ask any questions you want. In the meantime, we have... Oh, sorry, I will scroll up in just a second to catch what I missed because my wife is laughing like a maniac behind me, or behind the camera. So this is where you can find the book. You have one specific provider who people may not like. You have Barnes & Noble. You have Kobo. And you have all other instances of the ebook available. So what is also much more important than in the book itself is to review. So when you are done, please, please, please review it. JC Carpenter, the person who did my books, is Meeble Art. They are a Ukrainian-based company. Adriana did not do this cover, unless I'm catching up on things. Yes, Meeble Art, they did a fantastic, fantastic job. They did the first book. They did the second book. They're, well, I guess that's not my spoiler to give away, but they've done other people's work who I'm not at liberty to say, but they may or may not have liked the work that they've done. Well, I guess Richard, you said that you went to them before, so I'm not spoiling anything. You can discuss how much you did or didn't like the end results at here or at a later point, wherever. It's not, like I said, it's not my opinion that matters. It's yours. Yes, there was a great discussion with Martin and JC. Okay, so I'm going to... Ooh. Yes, I will need to check that out.
What made me laugh is Richard said 25 miles per week is your driving speed.
Sorry, my wife just told me what I missed, and thank you for that. Yeah, good. You did that. Chris Kenny also had a great experience with them, and it looks like Morgan is using them for the next book series, which is wonderful. Yeah, I cannot recommend Meeble Art enough. This cover is fantastic, and I approve. Let me see if I can go back and put that on screen because Richard is a terrible person. Ooh, Margaret, yeah, please let me know how that goes. 22 miles a week is nothing to... It's not something that, you can just roll out of bed and do, and that takes a lot of commitment. So it's nothing to... I'm trying to put this right. That would be a great achievement if you stick with it. So good luck, and I hope you achieve it. Let's see. If I ran 12,000, I could get to London. Yeah, I can't run fast enough to run on water, and nor can I really do much with the swimming. So I have no intention of running or swimming to London. Ooh, will I do something next year? In terms of marathon to write, I might. That's something worth considering. I'm not planning to ever do a marathon. Those are my brothers. My brothers are the marathon runners. They might convince me at some point. I like doing half marathons at most because it's half the distance, twice the fun. That's
You have to handle your own nutrition if you're doing a marathon.
Yeah, I would also have to control my diet, and I would actually have to run a lot more to prep for a marathon. So like today where I run 10 miles, that would have to be the norm. And I don't know if I necessarily have the commitment to
Rufus with you.
yeah, Rufus has enough trouble walking half a mile. Yep. So it's not that I would need to go on a diet, it's that I would need to control my food intake. So I really wouldn't be able to eat any spicy food, wouldn't be able to drink any alcohol, which I really don't anyways, but I would need to eat a lot more controlled diet is probably the better way of putting it. I would need to do a lot more pasta, do a lot more basic things that don't really taste the best. So bland foods if I were going to go for a marathon. I would happily do a half with someone if you wanted, but yeah. I would have to do my own dinners. That is also true because my wife likes making food that tastes great. And the food that I would need to prep my body to run that much more would not be. Be a lot of like baked chicken, really boring things. Anyways, that is neither here nor there. So thank you all for joining me. I'm thrilled that, sorry, let me close this out. There we go. I am thrilled that Expanding Cracks is out in the world today. It is a wonderful book. I am so proud of it. I cannot wait for all of you to experience the trials and tribulations of the characters and to go on the emotional journey that they themselves do. Yeah, let's see here. So everybody's coming up with nice new creative names for my channel. Carbs to write, bland to write, running to eat. Yes, running to eat is how I live my life. Making dinner. Okay. This is just getting absurd. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. I'm so happy that you were all here for the kickoff for the book launch. Easy Graphics, I'm glad you are here. Thank you for picking this up and for joining the live stream. If you want to ask me any questions, anyone, feel free to send me anything, DM me, whatever. I post every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I have videos on running to write, where I give questionable writing advice through running metaphors. Expanding Cracks is out now, and I am absolutely thrilled that all of you could be here. This book launch, no matter what happens, I'm just so happy I got to share it with you all. This was a wonderful midday to spend with you all, and take care. I'm going to go get a haircut.